Guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday and I got into things so fast today, I can't even believe it. We're already on the third video. First video was my silver play button, which by the way, I'm so grateful and so excited that I received. Also, second video, Shane Dawson's back. Can you believe it? Back again. Guess who's back? Back again. Yeah, Shaney's back. Okay. Anyways, you can check that video out if you go up here. Okay, so we have an update, you guys, on a story that we talked about last week, and it was a very heated topic. There was a lot of discussion and debate about whether or not there was something really that happened here or whether or not it was fake, and apparently it's real. So we talked about Collin Gosselin, the sextuplets. Collin is the sextuplet. He is one of the sextuplet of the Gosselin family. Kate and Jon +8, they came into our lives and they exploded in popularity, and then they got divorced, and there was a lot of back and forth going between them. Jon dipped out. Kate was saying that he was a different person. The kids don't spend time with Jon. Collin disappears. Now he's back and he's with Jon. And at the end of the day, we had something very disturbing happening last week when Collin had uploaded a photo where he had claimed that he had been punched in the nose by his father and that he had also been kicked in the ribs. So then a couple days later, he posted a photo, and I believed that there appeared to be a mark on the top of his nose. Some of my subscribers thought I was talking about his eyebrow. I was not talking about his eyebrow. His nose appeared to be a little bit swollen, and he had a little tiny mark right on the bridge of his nose up here. Well, I guess this is not fake. Now, a lot of you in comments believed that he was lying because Jon had appeared all over our screens as the perfect father, the savior of Collin that rescued him from that place that he had been. And we all believed what Jon said about Kate, that she was a liar, that she was a narcissist, that she was all doing this for money, that she was doing things illegally, that, you know, he seemed to be on this rampage all over the Instagrams. Well, and the Instagram and the YouTube, and he had all these interviews with so many different outlets, many of them exclusives, where he was receiving a lot of money to speak out, and then it stopped. And then we get this notice by Collin. People aren't clear what happens. Well, it's real, and People magazine actually confirmed it because they spoke with the Child Protective Services along with Kate Gosselin, and it 100% happened. So earlier today, they dropped an article with Kate actually confirming what happened. So Kate actually accuses Jon of doing these things to Collin, and she said she's not going to be silent anymore, and she's not going to let him. She said he can drag her all day long, but he's not going to drag her kids. So apparently they post the photo, and people ends up reaching out to the County of Berks, Pennsylvania Child and Youth Services, and they view a report, and the allegation is of causing bodily harm to the child through recent act, failure to act, hitting, and punching. And then it doesn't name Jon as the person that did it, but it's consistent with Collin's accusation against his father on Instagram last week. And the Township Police Department, the Lower Heidelberg Township Police Department, had no comment when people actually had reached out to them. So they actually speak to Kate, and she said this: "You do not punch and kick your children. You do not kick a child. I don't want to hear any excuses from anyone. Not from his father, not from local law enforcement, and not from the court personnel whose job is supposedly to ensure the best interests of my children. There is a child abuse law, PA 23, Section 8I, and it states that doing any of the following, regardless of whether it causes bodily injury is child abuse, and the first one that it lists is kicking, period." She also noted that she said, "I don't want my children around him. Enough is enough." So apparently this is what happens. They spoke to somebody that was there. Okay, so a source told People that the incident happened after Collin became upset while he was talking with his father in the car. So they said Collin got furious and he was screaming and he was swearing. When he got home, he was still screaming and cursing when he went into the garage and got a big heavy bottle of liquid and hurled it at Jon's car, denting it. They said Jon got out of the car enraged, put him in a headlock, punched him square in the nose, and then Collin fell to the ground. Then he kicked him in the ribs. So then I guess Collin calls police, and then they respond on the scene. Jon does not respond to people, and I guess CYS now is apparently investigating about what happened. Apparently, they seem to believe that Jon is not going to face any sort of legal repercussions because Berks County District Attorney John Adams said that there have been no charges or citations filed as a result of that incident. That's the only incident we are aware of at this point, and there is no citations or charges filed as a result of that incident. So they must have come, and then maybe Collin decided not to press charges. I don't know what happened here, but Kate says, I do not want this buried, swept under, or minimized under the rug. As a mother, I'm not going to sit quietly and idly by while my child, any of my children, is assaulted by anyone, let alone their own father. I'm spotlighting this, and I will keep shouting about it in the hopes that the authorities and the courts will finally do the right thing. Do not return my child to any abuser's home. Jon needs to be charged with a crime. If this were your child, would you feel okay with having it swept underneath the rug? She went on to talk about how that she was advised by police that Collin actually was removed from the home immediately. So she said, the police advised me that they removed Collin from Jon's home immediately. And as far as I'm aware, he is still not back. I don't know what's happening here. Jon has pretended on social media, and I say pretended lightly. I don't know if this is, the fact that there's an open investigation, there are people that are corroborating the story. There is the department that's investigating him. There's a confirmed incident where they contact the authorities. Jon has not said anything publicly, which was the first cue to me that something really did happen, because I remembered about, 3-4 months ago, Collin had made a statement about Jon's girlfriend, Collin, and about what a good mom she was and how she'd always been there for him. And he sort of shaded his mom. And immediately after that went on, he didn't realize the magnitude of it. And Jon went online and cleaned it all up, right? It was like, oh, Collin didn't realize what he was saying. He didn't mean anything. So I was waiting for that to come from Jon, and it never happened. Jon never went online and said this didn't happen, which made me think that something was going on behind the scenes. And then when Collin posted that photo, his nose to me with the cut and the swelling looked consistent with what he was posting on Instagram. So I had this sinking feeling that it was true. Now, a lot of people were dismissing it because they said that Collin has this troubled past and he has a history of making these allegations against parents. I had this feeling that there was something under the covers that was true. I don't know. I can't explain it. So Kate says, I stayed silent for a long time as Jon has repeatedly tried to start world wars with vicious words, allegations of ABUSC that were always unfounded, but I never engaged. I never fought back for myself or to defend myself because there were 8 people who mattered more to me. But now that it involves one of my children, I will not stay silent anymore. Say whatever you want about me and I'll stay on the high road, but you harm my children and I will fight back. So she went on to say, I have always parented with my children's best interests in mind. He parents to make himself look good. It's so sick that it makes my blood boil. I'm horrified that this man is the father of my children. I don't want my children to be associated with someone who loses his mind because his car got dented. That was kind of my reaction. Why are you doing this because your car got dented? That's so, wow. Now, I understand the frustration that the thing gets thrown and the car gets dented and there's this, he's acting out, but he's 16. His brain is not fully developed, and you can't, as a parent, react that way. You simply can't. And you can't put your hands on a kid like that. You simply can't. So I don't know, whether or not, because there's this weird no contact order that Jon has always been super vague about. It wasn't whether Kate had the no contact order or if Collin had the no contact order against his mother. Either way, Collin had some type of feelings about Kate, was not appreciating the fact that she stuck him in this place. And then he goes with his dad, assuming that everything with his dad is going to be fine. He has an outburst, which literally happens with teenagers. They freak out, they yell, they scream, they slam doors. I was the queen of slamming doors, but I can tell you my parents never put me in a headlock, punched me in the face, and kicked me in the ribs. Never happened. I am actually starting to see things a little bit clearly, and maybe Jon is the one who is the narcissist here, or maybe both. I don't know. No matter what, Collin deserves better than what he's gotten, whether it was because his mom stuck him away or because of his dad and what he's done. And I did, after a while, if you watch my videos about Jon, you'll notice that over time, with the amount of times that he was like dragging Kate, I continually said, I don't understand why he continues to like bash her. And there was this continued sort of sentiment from subscribers and from just the wider public. Well, he was silenced for such a long time. He couldn't say anything. But then when I was going back into old conversations, he had been talking about her. I don't know why he said like it was this massive like NDA, because a lot of the stuff that he talked about, he had spoken about in previous interviews in 2015 and 2016. So there might have been certain aspects he couldn't talk about, but the whole, after time went on with the total number of interviews, the clear to me what it seemed to be, he was sort of on this trying to get paid for these stories. I started as a mother to worry about like, what's the point now of continually dragging the mom? Now it just gets messy. As much as I don't like Kate and the way that she's parented, I didn't like that choice towards the end. And I was super glad when he stopped talking. But now this takes things to a whole new level. And I hope, if this is true, and if this allegation is what they say it is, that there are charges brought against him, because no child should be assaulted by a parent for denting a car. And I honestly don't blame Kate for being angry at all. I would be angry too. I would be so angry, because she probably, because of the no contact order, can't talk to him, can't look, can't figure out where he is. Collin doesn't want to talk to her. It's got to be a powerless feeling. And then you'd have to worry about Hannah, because Hannah's still in her father's home. So is Hannah at risk too? Is Hannah is she going to be the next one? I don't know. This is very concerning. And I really, really, really hope that Hannah's safe. I really, really hope that Collin is safe. And I really hope, if this comes out to be true and he did this, and it sounds like there's corroborating witnesses, it sounds like there is an investigation, and it sounds like the police were there. So something happened, 100%, that Jon is charged with something. I would hate for them to file nothing against him, because this is not okay. So tell me what your thoughts are. Are you surprised? Does this shock you? I know I was heavily anti-Kate, pro-Jon, but I feel like with every story and with every family that you cover, things change, stories change, perspectives change. And as we learn more information and we get all the details, we should all start looking at things with a broader lens, perhaps. I don't know. I just feel bad for the kids at the end of the day. I feel so bad for the kids. This is no way to live. Some of my commenters actually made the comment about how, there was got to be a reason why Maddie and Kara refused to acknowledge their father. And the fact that they were so adamant that their mom was a good mom and that their dad was not a good person. I mean, because they had said that repeatedly. So it makes me wonder, like, was this kind of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes? Was there DV in their marriage? Was there issues like this that they were in? And she's just never spoken out about it. And because people just don't like her personality, we were less willing to hear her point of view. I don't know. We will continue to follow it. I am going to continue to keep Collin and Hannah and all of the kids in my thoughts, because they're the ones that matter to me in this story. And we will see what happens next. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.